If I just find a very broad expertise management of my business, I'll become a jack of all trades. But if I develop this, I become master of trades. And many people can make a lot of money as being jack of all trades. But we're talking about a different world of business, a different world of performance. This is tricky. Let's start to understand it. In life, we are typically more involved with and more aware of external factors. Right? When something in the office or something in business or a deal we're trying to broker goes wrong, there are many obvious external factors to that, many of which you listed. It's very rare we'll truly in that first moment look inside. Right? When you're on a negotiating table and someone's trying to, push you too far, it's very often you'll appreciate the challenge and try and find where my ego is. We're mostly managing and firefighting externally. But the ego is a tricky thing. The ego has an energy to it which creates illusions and decoys. Now, when you're planting a seed in the ground, if you were just to put it on the table, would that seed grow? How many oak trees have grown from pretty tables? Very few, I guess. What has to happen to the seed for it to grow? Put it in the ground. The internal factor within everything is what makes some things grow. If you take a plant out of the ground, how much is it going to grow? Not at all. The internal factor in that plant makes it grow. For sure, sunlight, rain, perhaps someone talking to it with the carbon dioxide. Right? We like to talk to plants. It seems to help them sometimes. There are external factors, right? But unless you understand the nature of what internally is going through the ground in a concealed way, making every part of that plant and tree grow, without that, you could put as much sun, as much water, and as much talking to the flower, it's never going to grow. So the integral part of growth comes in the depth of what's growing it inside. No question, external factors are imperative too. But this is causal. This is causal. If you take a very pretty, beautiful light bulb out of its socket, is it going to shine? No way. You have to plug it in to allow it truly to become expert, purposeful. The potential of that bulb to shine comes when you plug it in, not in the pretty design of that bulb. Business works identically. Every one of us is so expansive, desiring, ambitious, desperate, attached, fearful. In all of the goals that we have, we're chasing. We're chasing. We're running. We're constantly frustrated by the goals which are never-endingly bigger. We need to feel in the moment what is internally powering success, not just externally the chase. The ego works in a very similar way. The ego has a cause and an effect to it. That plant needs to be buried, needs to be concealed for the tree to grow. Right or wrong? Right? If the plant's not buried, if the concealment of that seed doesn't happen, there's no external growth. So the cause of that external growth comes from the concealment. The ego is the same. If we can get to the concealment of the things that we're aware of, we can start to understand the roots and the causes of true change. The ego has two parts. On the one hand, of course, it controls everything external, but its nature is revelation and concealment. It means that not only does it control these external factors, and how can you truly say that the fiscal system of the United Kingdom is controlled by Jack's ego? I mean, it's a ridiculous statement. How can you control the fiscal system? You might not be able to change the Chancellor of the Exchequer's decision in the next budget, but you'll be for surely able to change what? What's that? Yeah, how you receive it, whether you're victim to it, or whether you're above it. Does that mean everyone needs to live in the Cayman Islands? Or learn tax evasion? No. But there will be ways and factors where we're not victim to and subject to a chaotic or a negative system. We're now back in control. I haven't changed the Chancellor's Checker's consciousness, but I've changed my own fortune, and that's okay. The ego controls everything. It has a revealed part, but it has a concealed part too. The revealed part is the thing I'm aware of. But its cause is something I won't be aware of. I don't see the seed. I just know the outcome. The person has an anger issue. What causes the anger issue? There's layers of fear and insecurity. What causes the fear and insecurity? There are layers. My job as a successful business person is to constantly get deeper. Because if I constantly get deeper, I have all the roots of every branch of success. If I'm trying to just run a horizontal business, horizontal management, horizontal skill sets, I'll have a very big tree, a very wide appeal, but in the first wind, what will happen to that tree? It can fall. Unless I develop roots, the growth of business, the extent of business, the control in business will never be long-standing. It can't be. It'll be boom, bust, boom, bust. Good flourish of apples, bad season. Good season, bad season. Up, down. And that's been the nature of the economy since time dot. Up and down. Up and down. That'll never change unless the people within its economy are changing themselves, which adds to the quantum nature of the economy. Every one of us can change that boom-bust of the economy. We're all its consumers. It is reactive to us. It comes back and bites us because we abuse it. So how do we restructure the economy? What is business, Jim? Imagine a global network of people in every walk of life, in every country and culture, that have consciousness of restructuring business, whereby not only am I more responsible, but I'm more successful. The net effect of a critical mass of business people doing such business is that the economy changes. And we have that power 100%. Hence the point of these breakfasts.